Neptune, players Chuba Ohams and Antrell Charlton. We'll go with an opening statement from the coach, please, and then we'll take your questions.
Yeah, really proud of the way our guys competed. I think we've been playing our best basketball, and that was our goal to start this year, to play our best basketball by the end of the season. Credit to these two guys. I think they really carried us tonight. Not just stats, but just their energy and enthusiasm, especially in the huddles and in the locker room at halftime. So proud of the way we competed. Not done yet. We got another game. Thank God. Survive and advance.
Go raise your hand, please. Gentleman right here, name and affiliation.
Sam Basil, House Enterprise. Trell, I mean, over the course of this season, you've kind of adopted the role as kind of like a floor general. And tonight, I mean, you were pointing to all your teammates, helping call some plays. How do you feel like you fit into this role this season at Fordham?
Well, I just feel like that's what's needed for us to win, especially like the changes we done had with injuries and things. So I feel like I got to be that guy that's out there solid, that's knowing what's going on, and coach really puts that trust into me to be that coach on the floor to lead the guys. So,
Questions? And again, I think we'll direct questions to the players first and then let them leave when we're finished. Go ahead, sir.
Ron Bailey, Rivals.com.
So, Ron?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
All right. For either one of you guys, what did coach tell you when you were down, 12 points or double-digit points, about 13 minutes left? You guys went on a 13-2 run. What did coach tell you? What happened?
Be a little vague on that. Leave a couple of those things out, please. Thank you.
I definitely won't tell you everything that he said, but he pretty much told us just we were playing too comfortable. Like we weren't playing like we wanted it. You know what I mean? That could have been our last game. Thank God we have another game. So he reiterated to us that we weren't playing like we wanted it. Just at the end of the day, whatever happens, just play. We want to look at each other in the eyes and say that we played hard and we played together.
For the players, go ahead, sir.
Basically the same thing Chuba said. He just basically told us to keep going, keep going. Eventually, something will happen. We just got to keep playing hard. At the end of the day, it's not about winning or losing. It's about us going back in the locker room and be able to look each other in the eyes and know that everybody gave their all. So that's basically what he reiterated.
Thank you for finishing that question. Go ahead, sir.
Aaron Robertson, All Facts Media. Chuba, for you scored the last 8 points of the game down the stretch there. I think it's 12 of the last 16. I mean, what was your mentality as the game kind of, was in the last few minutes there, and what were you seeing as far as how they were guarding you defensively?
Pretty much coach just put that trust in me. He told me a lot of times in the first half, I got a couple minutes ago, I was just rushing it. So at the end of the day, he told me gonna keep running stuff through me. Play off two, they help. Just make the simple read. If they don't, just be strong and be confident.
Yes, sir, for the players.
Chuba, you and Josh Oduro really got, kind of into it in the paint at several points throughout the game, just very physical on each other. What kind of adjustments did you have to make to kind of get past, such a good player, another good player in the A-10?
I mean, really good player. I mean, going into this game, we basically said that we're gonna guard him straight up and help when it's needed, help whenever we get a chance. But he's a really good player, so it was basically we just had to stay with the scouting report and just trust what the coaches told us.
Any other questions for the players? If not, I'm going to let them go back to their locker room. If you need additional interviews with the players, please get with their SID. Go ahead, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll take questions for the coach, please. Yes, right here in the back aisle.
Hey, Coach. John Titel from HoopsHD.com.
How you doing?
Just wanted to ask about Nowitzki. Past 3 games, 4 rebounds combined today, 4 in 9 minutes. How is a guy whose childhood gym was hit by a Russian rocket last week able to come out and perform?
You know what? I would be lying if I said he was okay. Actually, I think I would be a little disrespectful to say he was okay. I can't even imagine. I'm around him, and I don't. He's calm, but you know he's struggling. So hats off to him for giving it all for his teammates during this difficult time. Really proud of him.
Question, yes, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Joe Szymanski by George. I think if you look at a lot of the media talk in the preseason, no one really expected Fordham to make it past even maybe day one of the tournament. So what does that say to your guys and maybe even your coaching that you guys are now heading to day 3 of the tournament and really kind of blasting past any expectations you guys had in the preseason?
You know, we set our own expectations in the preseason. We didn't really look at anything anyone else talked about us. And we're a brand new bunch. A lot of new guys, a lot of new coaches. Our AD is new. Everyone is new. So we just create our own expectations. We didn't look at anything anyone else said about us.
Gentleman over here, yes, go ahead.
Coach, in my estimation, you put together a really good dynamic staff. What do guys like Coach Nima, bring to the table, and how have they functioned up on Fordham Road?
Yeah, Nemo Midvar we were really lucky to have him. He's been all over the place from Maryland to NC State. He's been assistant coach. He's been the director of basketball operations at an extremely high level. I wanted someone on our staff in that operations spot that was pretty much another coach. And that's what he is for us. He's a great mentor to our guys. He basically runs the show, does everything for us in terms of travel, and then he still knows his X's and O's. He's really good with the guys. Can't say enough good things about him.
Kyle.
Oh, I'm sorry, did you have another? Oh,
No, I'm somebody else.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see the mic move up. Thank you.
Patrick Stevens for the Washington Post. Kyle, just when you look at the stats, you guys basically got a split in the paint, and you forced them into 6 of 27 from 3. How significant was that in your game plan, and just in terms of forcing them to beat you from the outside rather than let Oduro do a bunch of damage?
Well, I mean, they have a pretty dynamic team, obviously with Oduro inside, and then they got, a couple dynamic shooters on the outside. So it was a little bit of pick your poison. I give a lot of credit to our guys. They miss some open looks that they normally make as well. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Kim English is an unbelievable coach. They played extremely hard. We were really fortunate to come away with the victory.
Take a couple more. Go ahead, sir.
Coach, defensively, all season you guys have played extremely well, but tonight, obviously, you hold Mason the 35% shooter from the floor. I mean, what went into that, and kind of how have you guys been able to have success on that side of the ball just all season long, really?
That's all we talk about. If we go into a game and we defend and we rebound at a high level, and we just don't make shots that day, we'll live with that. As long as we're actually defending and playing hard as we possibly can. So, that's all we talk about. So our guys, I think, have taken to it a little bit and starting to take pride in it.
Final question. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Coach. Tyler Barham, NBC Sports Washington.
How you doing?
When Josh Oduro got his 4th foul midway through the second half, did you guys change your approach at all, or did it just open the door to allow you guys to do more of what you wanted to do from the beginning of the contest?
No, we were going to go down with Chuba regardless. So he's our guy. He's been our guy all season. If he was in there, we still would have went at him. So,
Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you need additional interviews, please get with Joe, their SID. Thank you. We'll be joined shortly by Mason. And again, for those of you who walked in late, this is the first time that Fordham has advanced to the quarterfinals of this tournament since 2007. Who we got? Who's coming? Yep. Cooper, yep. Xavier? No. Oh, Oduro, okay. Gotcha. Devon, yes. Yeah, I've done it twice. Tip-off for this next upcoming game is now at 2:37, for those of you who are minding the clock for future stories to do. Coach. We are joined now by George Mason head coach Kim English, Davon Cooper, and Josh Maduro. We'll go with an opening statement from the head coach, then again I ask you to direct your questions first to the student athletes.
As disappointing as a loss as we have this season, embarrassing loss, an embarrassing ending, but fitting. You don't often get what you deserve in life; you get what you earn. And for too many times this season, we haven't had the right habits, the right toughness in moments to consistently earn wins. And you can talk about close games all you want. You are what your record says you are. And in this first season, we're 14-16, and it was earned. But it's something that our guys who will be returning will need to feel every single bit of it, of the anguish, of the embarrassment, of the everything. Our staff, me, everyone, and we will, and we'll learn from it. You get what you earn in life.
Questions for the players, please raise your hand. I think you're one right behind you, directly behind you, right there. There we go.
Question for the players defensively down the stretch. What was Fordham doing to get you guys off balance there in the last 5 minutes of regulation?
We just came unplugged a couple times, me importantly, and they executed and came out with a dub.
Go ahead, sir.
Devon, looking to the offseason, you still have a COVID year left in your eligibility. Have you thought at all about whether that means coming back here or not when it looks to next season?
I haven't thought about it yet. I'll sit down with Coach English and we'll talk about it within these next couple of days.
Go ahead on the corner.
Josh, just how much did the foul trouble kind of take you out of sorts there in the second half?
It was tough. I gotta be smarter sometimes on the defensive end, knowing to give up.
I thought they were great defense. I thought it was great defense. I thought it was perfect defense. I thought it was perfect defense he played on his fourth foul. He could not have played more perfect defense, and the referee said as such.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Josh, could you talk about your physicality in the paint today and matching up against Fordham's Chuba Ohams?
Yeah, he's a good player. He's physical in the post. I'm not really sure what you're asking about that. Could you specify?
Can you rephrase it?
Yeah, sure. Just what your game plan was in terms of just playing down low today, offensively.
Just same thing as usual. Just stay low, be patient, take what the defense gives me.
For both of you guys, just with what Coach was saying a little bit earlier about how this season has unfolded, just how much frustration was there just in the number of tight games that you found yourself on the wrong end of, and just what do you kind of take away from that big picture?
It's tough and it hurts, but we fought to the level of our preparation, so we're gonna bounce back next year.
And we played in a lot of close games, and we just came up short. So like I said, it's just the little things to get over that hump.
Gentlemen, go ahead.
Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. For either Davon or Josh, you played Fordham twice this season and both times couldn't get to 50 points. What in particular about how Fordham defended you all presented specific challenges for you all?
They muck up the paint. They play an interesting zone kind of defense. So they take away a paint possession, so they can make it tough like that.
Take a final question for the players. Gentlemen, right here in the front row. Oh, you wait for the microphone, please. There you go.
Josh, for you, I know it's obviously not the ending that you wanted for your season, but for you being the first player to make the A10 first team all conference, I mean, just what does that mean to you? And just despite not having to reach the team accolades, what do you kind of take from that this season?
Doesn't really mean anything to me. We lost on the second day of the tournament, so we're gonna bounce back next year.
Gentlemen, we'll let you guys go back to the locker room. Thank you very much for your time here. And now we'll take additional questions for head coach, please. Over here on the side. Name and affiliation again, please, if you will.
Okay, I'm Patrick Stevens with the Washington Post. What do you feel like are those lessons that you were kind of alluding to earlier that you're going to have to implement in your program heading into year two?
Yeah, a lot. It's you go all the way back to day one and just doing a better job. We're going to do a better job implementing and demanding and holding our standard of toughness, of defense, of rebounding, of ball security, a better job, a much better job, and continue. I told the guys, every single lapse, it falls back on me. Like, I am not pushing this on these kids. It's not on them. It's on me to hold them accountable, to not be unconfident in shooting situations, to be solid and sure in playing off of 2 feet on drives, to play defense and not go for shot fakes, to box out, to contest shots, to close out with high hands. Everything rises and falls on leadership. And we will be better. They're going to, feel every single emotion that they feel right now, and we'll be better.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Ron Bailey, Rivals.com. I thought Polite, absent those 2 missed layups late in the second half, played pretty well during that period. Was that what you've been expecting from him all year, to be able to get into the lane and give you some scoreability?
He was good. He was good. He plays with, beyond his ability, and, if he's injured, if he's healthy, we'll keep getting him back to full health. I just like his spirit. I like his moxie. When he's on the court, he wants to do the right thing. I can see it and trust it in his eyes, and appreciate that about him.
Go ahead, sir.
Hi, Joe Szymanski by George. Coach, you already said something about, those quick third and fourth fouls on Josh in the second half there. How much do you think those kind of questionable calls?
Huge impact on the game. Ronnie Polite had a wide open layup with with up 7. Josh Aduro boxed the kid out in a very physical game. I think Fordham maybe may foul the most in our league. Josh, in a very physical game. Physical games are okay. That's fine. However the conditions are, that's how we like it. Ronnie had a layup. A very physical bang-bang play was called for his 3rd foul. Josh Aduro goes down. He's doing a tremendous job guarding Oham's only right-hand post offense. He shoots a right-handed shot through Josh's face, and he's called for his 4th foul. Inconsistent to the way the game was going. Huge plays.
In the back, sir. Yes, go ahead.
Dave Preston, WTOP Radio. Oham's day this afternoon. What was the biggest challenge in trying to?
No challenge. He said 20 points on 20 shots. There was no challenge.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Over here.
Coach Daniel Frank from A10 Talk. You all had the last 2 games of the season, today and against UMass, were 2 particularly close games. And to end the season, I believe you all lost 9 of the last 12. As a young coach and a young coaching staff, what do you feel is the biggest lesson that you've taken from that 12-game stretch to end the season?
I don't think we have a young coaching staff. There's a lot of things to be taken from it. Each game is different. Maybe there's some trends we'll see and pick out as we do a diagnostics on our season and the ending. A lot of thoughts running through my brain right now. If I would say of those last 12 games, our focus to get better at was our closeouts, our help defense, and as of late, our rebounding. And we have a quiet team. We have a quiet team, great kids, like phenomenal kids. If your daughter was dating them, you'd be thrilled. Great young men. Getting their emotion higher, their emotion, their energy higher. Those are some things we focused on down the stretch. I don't know a single particular theme of the last 12 right now, as you ask.
I'm going to take a couple more. Go ahead, sir.
Marcus Washington from MTC Media. Ticket was 0 for 7 from the field. I know he grabbed 10 rebounds. What was the crux of his struggle?
I thought he got some good looks. Thought he didn't make them. They're physical. They're physical. You have to go and accept that physicality and drive through it. I thought our guys too often were trying to create fouls. That's not how you play. Just from a shot quality standpoint, I liked a lot of his attempts.
And you mentioned the help side. There was a stretch in the second half where it just seemed like they got to the front of the rim. What were the issues?
It's not much help. It's not much help when the ball's in the middle of the floor. We just failed to execute how we wanted to guard that stack Spain play. Didn't get it done on how we should have been guarding it. And they did a better job. They disguised it better than they have in the past. They did a good job.
Okay, over here. Yes, sir.
You just mentioned in a recent question about emotion in your players. Is that something you might try and potentially look for in the transfer portal this offseason? Is there someone who is that loud voice, who does have that emotion and shows it on all occasions on the court?
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as attrition goes and as far as player acquisition goes. As of today, it's our job to build it in the guys that we do have. And as things change in our roster over the next few days and weeks, that is something that we value in recruiting, is leadership and moxie and toughness and an edge.
Here, and then I'm going to break
Hey,
my own
Coach,
rule and let you finish.
back in the corner. Jake Rom, WDVM TV. First year of coaching, head coaching. What's the biggest lesson that you can take away from this season?
Yeah, a lot of lessons, a ton. I mean, they've been, trying to improve in certain areas throughout the season and in preparation and in-game coaching. And it's been great. You can't ever, you got to go through it, and I think I said to someone the other day, it changes per team, right? I think, Jim Boeheim or Coach K or Leonard Hamilton are still learning within their seasons with their teams. I have kind of personal, some things as far as when to call a timeout, when to rally our guys, how I'm going to manage my foul trouble participation. I try not to overreact to foul trouble too much, learning when. It's a lot of feel things. And it's been a great, I've learned a ton. And I'm really just, excited about where our program's going. Frustrating season, incredibly frustrating. But of all my frustrated nights of watching film, I always have a chuckle of encouragement because know where we're going to be with what we have and what we're going to continue to bring in.
Last question. Go ahead.
Hey, Kim. Tyler Byram, NBC Sports Washington. Along the same vein, obviously the season didn't end the way that you guys would have preferred, some ups and downs throughout the year, but as a whole, how would you kind of evaluate this first season with this program?
Ups and downs. When you talk these, possession games, I think it's 9 or 10, whatever, we've lost games by one possession or two possessions. It's little things that could change the outcome of those games, but that's an excuse. At the end of the day, you are what your record says you are, and we lost those games. The other team did things to win those games, and some very unfortunate things like layups or free throws, but we just have to be better. We have to continue bad calls from officials. We have to be better to widen that margin of error so that we can win in spite of. We're going to win in spite of. That's what the best teams do, and we will.
Thank you, Coach,
Thank you,
very
guys.
much. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back here after the conclusion of the second game.